Welcome back to my channel. It feels like it's been a while, but in today's video, we are making, I've been eating this, let me see, for 8 years now. My sister introduced this to me. Oh, I love it so much. First of all, I already love chicken wings, okay? And when she introduced me to this, I was in love. I was in love. And I think I've probably made it in 8 years, 30 times maybe. Yeah. it's been many times, but it's really, really good. So please just follow the video and follow the steps on how to make it. So you put all the ingredients for the wings together, including the wings, before switching on the stove, because you do not want the sugar to start cooking and start burning or things like that. Put your garlic, your ginger, your olive oil, your sugar, your sweet thick soy sauce. That's what I use. I don't use the normal soy sauce because it's salty, and you want this dish to be sweet, so you use this one. I got it from, you can get it from any supermarket actually, but I got it from Checkers. So you can go and check it out there, or a spa, anywhere like that. So it looks like this. So there's a thick soy sauce and there's a thick sweet soy sauce. So this is what I like to buy, and you will always find it in my pantry. Thank you, Cece, for introducing this to me. So now we're gonna put some sugar. So I put a whole bottle of the soy sauce. Yeah, it does it quite a lot, but you're gonna use this sauce later on for the rest of the dish. So it's a win-win. And then this edition of the 5 spice is my own little thing that I did, and it came out so good as well. So it doesn't actually require a lot of ingredients, but the flavor. You get on a bus, drive all the way one-way street to Flavor Town, and this is what these chicken wings are going to do for you. Just mix everything before you put your chicken wings. And then now just make sure everything is coated in the sauce. All the wings are coated in the sauce before you switch on your stove. I know it feels like a long time to cook it, but you are sitting there, maybe watching a movie, maybe Netflix, something, and then you just cover, you just keep coming and checking. So I flip them 3 times, so every 30 minutes, let's say that, because you cook them for 1.5 hours. So when I say turn them three times, I mean every 30 minutes. And then you know that your wings are cooking, they are ready. And please make sure that it's very, very low heat. So this was cooking on 2. That's what you need. So if you got a gas stove, make sure that the flame is too low for the chicken wings. Otherwise it burns quickly and it doesn't get to fall off the bone. I hope this makes sense, but yes, just flip them, make sure everything is being cooked, because if you do not flip them, then the top will be a bit pale and then the bottom will be nice and golden. So just turn so that everything gets enough sauce on it. And then just cover, set your timer if you're gonna forget, and then come and check. You don't have to come opening every 10 minutes, just leave it to cook and do its thing. Look at that. This is what it looks like after an hour and a half. I just lift and then it starts breaking in half, the wing. So it didn't burn. Don't worry about it. It's the sauce. It was so good. You have to try this. You can try it on a weekend, and there's no need for marinating, because by cooking on low heat, it just falls off the bone. Now we're gonna make one of my favorite, tagliatelle pasta. It is so firm and it holds together. The next day it still tastes so good. So when I buy it, I usually buy it and it's rolled into little knots, like, yes. So I decided, hey, how about if I try my own? Because the first time that she cooked this for me, April was not happy because she wanted to show the camera, and then I said, hold on. So she does not have patience. She said, why should I be patient? She's learning. She'll get there. Anyway, when she introduced me, I tasted it and I said, I've never eaten this pasta before, but I love it. And it's been my favorite pasta since then. So now making my own was actually a very, very special moment because I really, really enjoy it. You know, when something that you enjoy and you can crave and say, oh, I would love to have it with this. If you can be able to make it for yourself, it just makes it 10 times better. So try it. If you don't want to try it, you can just go and get it in the supermarket. They have it there. It's just for me, I'm just finding that, you know, making stuff is easier because I just take whatever in my house and then I put something together. So I use the 00 flour here, but you can use the cake flour for it. And 1 yolk and 3 eggs. It becomes so smooth, so you need to knead it. If you're going to knead it by hands, you need to really go in until it is smooth before you let it rest. Then we put our eggs. The other pasta that I made, it didn't require water or oil. It was just literally eggs and flour. That's it. But this one, it says oil and water as well. But the recipe said 1 tablespoon of water. I ended up putting like half a cup of water. So you just mix everything before you knead it, because trying to knead it like this is not going to work. So use half a cup of water. Maybe it also depends on the flour that you're using, but don't pour all of it at once. Just gradually keep adding as you need it. So just combine everything to make sure that the eggs and the flour and all the ingredients are married or combined well. I told her to pour a little bit, but she poured a whole lot, but it's okay. It worked out. Now we're just gonna knead it, and if we need more water, we just add a little bit more water. So all in all, it was half a cup of water. Just normal cold water. It doesn't have to be hot or warm. I added a bit more water. And then you're looking for something like this. It needs to be nice and smooth. That's one thing with this dough that I noticed, that it holds together so well. And it's pliable and it's easy to knead and work with it, because I think the oil also helped it and the water helped it quite a bit. And maybe the extra yolk, it was also good for that. Now we just put it in cling wrap and just let it rest for 30 minutes before we start cutting and rolling and cutting it and cooking our pasta. It is very soft, it's very smooth. So kneading it for longer is what makes it so nice and smooth as well. Look at that. Now we're just gonna cut it into 4. If you do not have a pasta maker, you can just roll it with a rolling pin, and then until it becomes quite thick, that is almost transparent or see-through. So these adjustments, they start from 7. So 7, I put this thick one, and then when I start folding, I put it on 6, and then until it gets to 1. So when it gets to 1, then I'm going to cut it into pasta. So it says 7. Now just add more flour. It doesn't need too much flour. That's one thing I noticed with this pasta, but it needs some flour. And it's so easy to work with. So it's still on 7 when I folded it now. And then I'm going to put it on 6, on 5, on 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 being the thinnest. And that's the one that you need to use, because remember, it also cooks very, very quickly. So you don't want it to be too thick. Then I'll start adjusting. We used to love watching My Kitchen Rules, and when the people used to make their own pasta, and we used to think, but why would you make your own pasta when you can just go and buy? Isn't it cheaper to buy? But now since we started making our own pasta, now we're like, okay, now we understand why people had to make their own pasta, because it's really, really good. So the more you go down with the numbers, the longer it becomes and the thinner it becomes as well. So you can just cut it in half and continue if you're running out of space on your workstation. But look at that, becoming thinner and thinner. Now we're just gonna cut it, and my helper is helping me there. I did not ask her. She was watching her show. She came running. That's why she's not even wearing an apron, because she just came running to say, please let me help you, let me help you. She loves being in the kitchen with me and cooking and baking. So these ones were very, very long. But then the next batch, I cut it in half because it was a bit too long. But look at that. This is exactly what they look like, the ones that you buy in the shop. They are so beautiful. Please check it out, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see my next videos. So you do not have to tie a knot like this, but that's what they looked in the packet when I used to buy them. So I wanted them to be authentic, but you can just leave them straight. Now we're moving on to our veggies, and every single thing that I'm doing here, that's how I first learned this recipe. There. So I just got some vegetables from my garden, the Swiss chard and some of the pepper and onions, and yeah. Because I used to buy this packet from Woolworths, it's already cut for you. But I don't know how long it's been sitting there. So I decided to cut for myself. I remembered what was in the packet, and then I just cut it, shredded it, and there we go. Quick and easy in my own kitchen. There's our Swiss chard from the garden. My cabbage in the garden is not yet ready, so I bought this. But yeah, so you just cook this and keep stir frying it. It doesn't need to cook too long, because by the time you put the pasta in and the wings and everything, it still needs the vegetables to be crunchy. So I didn't put a lot of oil here because there's already oil in the wings that we're going to use. It is so delicious. Even the next day, the vegetables were still crunchy, still so good. Yep, 4 minutes or less. trying the flipping. First time it messed and then it worked a bit, second and third time. Now we're gonna move on to making our pasta. So we boil the water, put a bit of olive oil to help it not to stick. So I'm not saying how much water because it actually depends on you, what you can eye level it. Look at it and say, okay, I think this is enough water. And then you just place your pasta in. It was enough for supper, and the next day's lunch we had, and there was still even a little bit left over. It's one of those generous recipes that you can have quite a bit of people and everybody can have. Just cook it for 5 minutes. And I just tried to break it because it was tight. So just to break it so that everything can cook nicely. Now we just take it out and strain it. Put our vegetables, our pasta, now our wings, and then just fold everything together. I'm just adding a little bit of the soy sauce just to make it a bit darker because it was left over. There was like 2 tablespoons left over and I just decided to add them here. And now I just fold everything to make sure that the vegetables, the wings, the pasta, everything is combined together. You don't want to take a bite and the pasta doesn't have any sauce or the vegetables. So I wanted to make sure everything is all combined. And then yeah, we just warm everything up because the wings had finished cooking long time. This is so delicious. Please try it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And Dawn, thank you so much for this recipe. I love you and enjoy the video. See you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.